I should have known better, Serizawa thought. If he had been in Mark's position, if his own son, Ren, were the one in there, he would probably have done the same thing. That what you just heard was a quote from the Godzilla King of the Monsters novelization for the film, and that was the big reveal. It was only mentioned once in the book, I believe, that Serizawa does indeed have a child named Ren Serizawa. Now, a lot of you probably have no idea why I'm making this video. This is actually a video I've been trying to find the evidence for like a week in terms of like if he actually does have a kid or not, and I finally found the quote and I can finally make this video. So as you just heard in the novelization, in terms of the Monsterverse, while novelizations are soft canon and they're secondary canon, this is our first confirmation that Serizawa does indeed have a family of some sort, and that is with the introduction of the character Ren Serizawa. While he is not important in the book and he makes no appearance, he is mentioned. That is the first time he's mentioned, and in this right there, as we know now, Ren has a kid, or Serizawa has a kid named Ren. Now, why am I making this video about possibly Ren arising? Well, before I get into the big discussion and the theories and stuff that belong in this, there is a big theory out there that the main human antagonist in this film, especially due to Alan Jonah, or Charles Dance, I should say, by his character Alan Jonah, not being in the cast, which, could change. It could be a secretive thing that's been kept from media eye or whatever. But in the case that, for some reason, Charles Dance has anything to do with this movie at all, we now know that it's very likely there's going to be some sort of new human antagonist. It's very likely, especially going off what we know about the film. We know there's a new organization named Apex. We don't know much about them, but due to some of the plot synopsis and stuff, it seems like more than likely they will be basically an evil monarch that is that has no funding from the government or anything. And I'll save any spoilery stuff for the very end, okay? I'm not gonna, so don't be worried. I'll warn you guys before I say any sort of spoilers or anything. So you can just sit back and enjoy. Whenever I'm about to say something spoilery, you can just leave. But until then, so we know Apex. That's not a spoiler. We knew they're in the film. It's in the casting that there is an organization named Apex, and the big theory is that they're an evil one. And also in the casting, we have a certain figure that it's definitely bringing a lot of attention to. Now, a lot of people, we can't be for sure if that's what this is, but there are a lot of people in the cast that do have a role listed, or just it's like a big, like Isa Gonzalez or something, maybe one of them aren't listed. But we have one character, one person in the casting that is very interesting. It stands out among the rest, in my opinion. I've always wondered, who are they? Who are they playing? That cast member is none other than Shun Oguri. I believe I pronounced that right. It's a Japanese name. I think it's Shun Oguri. But I looked up on his casting a bit. I don't know much about him as an actor or anything, and I haven't seen him in much. And from what I've seen, this will actually be I believe this will be his American film debut. I was looking through some of the films he's done. He's done a lot, and I mean a lot of Japanese movies. I don't think he's done anything outside of Japanese productions before. He's worked with some animes and stuff and a lot of movies. As far as I know, this will be his first American film debut. And he's the only one really on the cast that's a Japanese actor. Doesn't have any listing by his name. Now, he could just be just no one. He could be no one. But he's actually pretty high build if they are truly in order on... I mean, IMDb is kind of iffy what you can go by. But if we're being real here and it works as I think it does, which it could not, but he's pretty high build. So he's definitely a main character in the movie, I would say. And along with, like I said, I doubt there's going to have some other random, Asian actor be just a new nobody in this film, just be a new antagonist. From what we can tell, it seems like there's actually I was not buying it for the longest time, but once I found this quote and really thought about it, I think there's a really good chance we know our main antagonist in the movie, and that's none other than Dr. Ishiro Serizawa's son himself, Ren Serizawa. Now, again, there's no confirmation. This isn't a spoiler. It's just theories. Again, we have a like a top billed Asian actor in the film with no name, and we do know that it's canon that Serizawa does have a son. Before anything major, we're going to talk about the theories, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts on what this should be, and then we'll get into spoilers. So, if we're going based on exactly what the two main theories are for why he would be the main antagonist running Apex, there's two big theories. One, the one theory I've seen quite a bit is that Ren is going to be getting revenge for his dad because he blames everyone else for the reason that his dad had to die, and he also blames Godzilla, and that his dad's sacrifice was unnecessary, and it's basically everyone else's fault that he would actually do that to save, Godzilla, and would actually sacrifice his life to do such a thing. And basically, it's going to cause him to be, just basically be very pissy and vow revenge on the rest of the world. That's the one theory I saw. I've also seen this one, which to me would make more sense, because that first one sounds kind of petty. This one, I guess, kind of makes more sense. The other theory I heard is that ever since he was a young kid, his dad always cared more about Godzilla and the Titans, was never around to take care of him and his family, and something probably happened to their mom at some point, and his dad was just not a dad, never there, which would make sense, first off, because, look at Serizawa. He was never mentioned in the movies, which I'll get onto with the problems. But it's like Serizawa doesn't even care for his family. The only time we ever even hear him mention his family, I'm pretty sure, is just this one quote in the novelization. I don't believe it's in the 2014 one. And it just has no... It's almost like his dad left his family behind. With this, he grew a hatred for the Titans due to his dad's obsession, caring about the Titans more than his family. And with that, he became powerful, became the leader of Apex, and now he's going to seek revenge on all the Titans and stuff for basically get his dad back, I guess you could say. He's going to kill Godzilla because that was his dad's favorite Titan or whatever, and he vows revenge by killing Godzilla. Which, I could see that one working and making sense. I definitely could. Here is my biggest problem with these series. It's not the fact that it couldn't happen. That's not my problem at all. My big problem with these series is that the kid has never been mentioned once. Not even in the slightest. It would have been at least one thing if there was a slight hint in the movies that he had a family. But unless I'm missing something or forgetting something, you guys let me know in the comments. You could just be like, hey, no, there was actually this. Unless I'm missing something. I don't believe any of the comics or any of the movies once mention the kid. The only official source that makes him even canon is the novelization for King of the Monsters. One book, and it's one line where he's not even there. His dad's just thinking of him. That, to me, well, I can't say it wouldn't work, to just randomly introduce him and stuff. It would be just kind of like out of nowhere, almost like, oh, he had a kid now. I can't say I wouldn't like it. I can't say I have a problem with it. It all comes down to execution. If they execute it and he's actually a really fun and good villain with good motives and stuff, or like decent motives, decent lore, sure, give it to me. But I just feel like it's going to be kind of hard to pull it off, and there's going to be a lot of people, including myself, they're going to be like, why was he not mentioned before? Clearly, you could say that, it was just like a last-second decision by Adam Wingard or like something like that. But he's canon. He was mentioned clear back in the King of the Monsters novelization. So, and plus, I wouldn't necessarily blame it on Adam. They've been planning these movies out forever now. I think Adam gets too much trash. People need to realize a lot of the other stuff that happens beyond the director. For all of his movies, too. There's a lot of people that work on these movies. But That being said, I just don't think I would like that per se. I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but I'm just saying that I don't know how they would pull that off in a way that would logically like work. I mean, I guess if they never mention it because they literally Serizawa didn't give to about his family, then albeit I guess they could do something like that and just be like Serizawa literally never cared to mention it. No one even knew he had a family because he literally refused to mention it. I guess they could pull something like that off, but in all reality, I don't know how I'd feel about that. But let's get on the spoilers. If you don't want spoilers for GVK, Godzilla vs. Kong, and yes, these are spoilers. There's going to be spoilers mentioned. And it's not just like a theory or anything. There are going to be spoilers. If you've been good and stayed away from all the spoilers thus far, click off now. Alright, Mechagodzilla. There you go. So, with that being said, one of the big theories I could see with Apex is that this is a mixture of my own theory and what other people have theorized about or supposed plot leaks have said. Basically, Apex is going to build Mechagodzilla. It's not going to be Monarch. You would think it would be Monarch because they deny the claims at the very end of the King of the Monsters movie in the newspapers. No. I'm going to give it to Apex building it. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think Monarch was lying. I think there was a giant robot titan being developed, but it was not by Monarch. I could be completely wrong. There are theories that Apex is going to sabotage and take Mechagodzilla, but I'm honestly thinking that this is going to be our first time ever seeing Mechagodzilla being built by humans with the intent of being evil. Every time humans build Mechagodzilla, he's the good guy. I think we're about to get our first time that bad people make Mechagodzilla for bad reasons that aren't aliens. Basically, Mechagodzilla is going to work as a way to he's going to be the perfect counter to Godzilla. He's going to be made to be powerful, and basically, throughout the film, Apex, led by Ren Serizawa, let's just say it like this. Ren's going to get somehow over the span of 40 to 20 years. I think 40 would work better. They're going to build Mechagodzilla somehow, even though they're an unfunded organization. Again, Monarch could make it. I think it would, in a way, make more sense maybe if Monarch made it. I guess you could say that, since they're actually funded by the government, and they actually do have an outpost there, and Apex saying it. But just for my theory, Apex makes Mechagodzilla, and then Apex sends Kong Godzilla on a collision course. They have a misunderstanding, kind of like that kid's book says. Basically, they're going to fight throughout the film multiple times. In Hong Kong, they're going to wait until the two alphas basically are down their final legs. And whenever they think one of them's dead, and the goal all along was for Godzilla to kill Kong, since Godzilla's the much more superior one. Basically, whenever Kong's down for the count and he's presumably dead, they'll send Mechagodzilla in, and Mechagodzilla being a perfect counter, and Godzilla already being kind of weakened from his battle, Mechagodzilla will absolutely dominate and destroy Godzilla in hand-to-hand, completely beating him, using his abilities, all stuff, nearly killing him. That's basically what Ren Serizawa's plan is going to be. Get the two alphas to die, and from there they can just get revenge on everyone. Because at that point they can get an orca of some sort and put it in Mechagodzilla. And basically Mechagodzilla can become the new alpha. And basically from there, Ren rules the Earth. Ren will be the alpha at that point. Unless Mechagodzilla is an AI and that can lose control and take care of his own stuff, which he could if King Ghidorah takes over. That could always be a thing. I honestly don't think we're going to see Mechagodzilla too much in the film. I think we're going to get bits and pieces of him throughout, and I think he's going to come in at the very end. Basically, he's going to be sent in by Ren, or King Ghidorah is going to take over. And either way, they're both going to try to get revenge on Godzilla and kill him. But obviously, that's not going to go right. That's what I personally think. I'm just using that as speculation based on some stuff we do know. I think that would make the most sense. I do like that theory. Could be completely wrong. Kong could beat Godzilla, and then Mechagodzilla comes in and, Kong fights Mechagodzilla. Who knows? My theory, though, is that Ren proceeded with the building of Mechagodzilla, and basically he waited for his plan to get Godzilla and Kong to fight, and as soon as the fight's done, they're going to send Mechagodzilla in to get revenge because of his dad, because I like the second theory more. Godzilla's dead, boom, new alpha. That's my personal opinion. What do you guys think about all this? I've been hearing this. It's been around for a long time, but it's about time I put my take into it. It took me like a week. Thank you, Kevin the Left Head on Instagram, for giving me this information and about from the book, the quote in the book. Thank you all once again. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had fun making it. Tried to say that dude's name in Japanese, but I think I struggled. But I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, please share, subscribe, turn on that bell notification if you already haven't, to get notifications for all future uploads. Hope you all enjoy. Thank you for watching once again. And as always, peace. Bye-bye.